అక్కడ కాదు.
పెన్ డ్రైవ్
లో వేస్తే మనం స్క్రీన్ షేర్ చేయొచ్చు. ఇది కదా ఆన్లైన్ లో పోయేది.
అది కదా,
అది ఎక్కడ వాడతారు కదా
బాబు.
కనెక్ట్ అయితే నానా ఇక్కడ ఉన్నది. ఇందులో ఈమెయిల్ ఏమున్నాయి చూస్తాం.
ప్రెజెంటేషన్
అది
ప్రెజెంటేషన్ 1
ఏది
ప్రెజెంటేషన్ ఎక్కడ ఏమవుతుంది?
ఆమె మేడమ్స్ పేర్లు అడగండి.
ప్రెజెంటేషన్ 1 అన్నది అది కాదు. స్కిన్ పెట్టిన ఏం పెట్టిన
మేడం మేడం చూపించట్లేదు సార్, చూపించట్లేదు. చూపించట్లేదు. లేదు లేదు, డైరెక్ట్ పిలవండి సార్.
హలో హలో, వీసీ రిజిస్టర్ రాగానే స్టార్ట్ చేద్దామండి. మీరు అన్న కొంత అయింది. ఎందుకు ఇప్పుడు డిస్టర్బెన్స్ అవుతుంది, ఆగండి మీరు.
ఒక సెకండ్ ఉండండి. ఇది ఇంకొకటి కాఫీ ఎవరు రాలా.
అది వచ్చిందంటే ఈ ల్యాప్టాప్ ఒకటి సపోర్ట్ అవుతుంది, అదే చెక్ చేస్తాను. వైఫైకి ల్యాప్టాప్ నాకు అందరూ అసలు ఇంకో ల్యాప్టాప్
జగన్ అన్న
ఇంకొకసారి పెట్టాలి.
వస్తాను అక్కనే వస్తాను. ఓకే సార్. ఓకే
ఫోన్ కనెక్ట్ అయ్యింది. హలో సార్.
Morning, one and all.
మొబైల్ కనెక్ట్ చేస్తున్నారు. మొబైల్ కనెక్ట్ చేస్తున్నారు.
Good morning, one and all. Now, garlanding to the portrait of Sanskrit, by the guests and speakers of the rice.
వైఫై బంద్ చేసాము. సెకండ్ అదే కదా, వైఫ్ సెమినార్ అదే కదా.
మీరు అక్కడ దగ్గర పోయి అది పక్కన जोहार माता सावित्रीबाई फुले, जोहार माता सावित्रीबाई फुले, जोहार माता सावित्रीबाई फुले, सावित्रीबाई फुले ఆశయాలను
Today, we are here on the occasion of multinational related on life in the process of humanity, remembering sanctified cooking and health awareness and blood donation camp. So, Savitri has shared the driving force behind women empowerment and women education, what we are today. I now request Dr. G. Samayagaru to come on to the dais to notify the director for Dr. B. R. Ambedkar Study Center and National University of Pharmaceutical Sciences. It is my pleasure to invite Dr. J. Krishnavedi Garu, Assistant Professor, University College of Pharmaceutical Sciences, Company University, to come on to the dais and notify the Yes, Soumya, welcome. My thanks is for the great privilege to invite Dr. James MD, General Medicine, General Physician and Diabetologist to come on to the dais and answer healthcare. Yes, Priya and welcome. I now invite Dr. G. Vidya
ఇది ఓకే
ఆన్లైన్ ఉందా?
చెప్పట్లేదు.
Thank you. Now I hand over the proceeding of the session to Dr. G. Samayagaru, Principal University.
Good morning. Good morning and good evening to all. Greeting from Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Research Center, Kakati University, Warangal, and University College of Pharmaceutical Science, Kakati University. Today we are going to celebrating one day national level lecture on life in the service of humanity, remembering Savitribai Phule and health awareness program and blood donation camp on the eve of the 191 birth anniversary of Savitribai Phule. Jointly organized by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Research Center, Kakati University, and University College of Pharmaceutical Science, Warangal. In this program, chief guest, Honorable Professor T. Ramesh Sir, Vice Chancellor of Kakati University, and guest of honor, Professor B. Venkatram Reddy, Registrar of Kakati University, will grace the occasion. And the convener of this program, Dr. J. Krishnavedi Madam, and Dean and viewers, and my beloved faculty members and contract teachers of the keynote speakers are Dr. M. Prasanna Reddy and diabetologist and assistant professor in EMM is going to deliver a lecture on entitled diabetes. And this topic is very much useful to the pharma students. And the second speaker is Dr. G. Vidya Reddy and she is the dermatologist and cosmetologist will deliver a lecture on various skin problems, especially acne, dandruff, alopecia, scabies, and various fungal diseases. All these problems are very common in the student livings, and nowadays all students are facing these skin problems. And thanks to all the organizers, and also thanks to University Administration Authority for permitting me to organize one-day lecture. Invited guests on the dais and the dais, my dear participants and my dear students and print media and electronic media. Once again, welcome to all the delegates to this program. In this program, eminent speakers are going to delivering a lecture on diabetes and various skin problems. And these three teachers will tell about the life history of Savitribai Phule. And thank you one and all for giving this opportunity. Jai Bhim. And ముఖ్యంగా ఈ సందర్భం ఒక విషయం చెప్పదలుచుకున్నాను. స్త్రీలు మనుషులేనని, వారి హక్కులే మానవ హక్కులని దేశానికి చాటి చెప్పిన మహాన్ స్త్రీలు సావిత్రిబాయి పూలే అండ్ పూలే గారు. స్త్రీవాదం, దళిత స్త్రీవాదాన్ని ఆచరణాత్మకంగా ప్రబోధించిన నాయకురాలు సావిత్రిబాయి పూలే. తొలి మహిళా ఉపాధ్యాయురాలు. వారి ఎజెండాను రాజ్యాంగంలో ప్రాథమిక హక్కుగా డాక్టర్ బిఆర్ అంబేద్కర్ పొందుపరిచారు. అందుకే ఈ రోజు ఇంతమంది మహిళలు ఈ హాల్లో కూర్చొని ఈ ప్రోగ్రామ్ ను చూడగలుగుతున్నారు. బికాస్ ఆఫ్ సావిత్రిబాయి పూలే అండ్ పూలే గారు. వాళ్ళ ఆశయాలను రాజ్యాంగంలో చట్టబద్ధంగా పొందుపరిచింది అంబేద్కర్. దీన్ని ప్రాథమిక హక్కుల కింద, అంటే స్త్రీ చదువుకునే హక్కు అనేది ప్రాథమిక హక్కుగా అంబేద్కర్ కల్పించారు. అందుకని ఈ రోజు ఎమినెంట్ స్పీకర్స్ అయిన డాక్టర్ ప్రజ్ఞారెడ్డి గారు, డాక్టర్ విద్యారెడ్డి గారు, జానపరెడ్డి కృష్ణవేణి గారు స్టేజ్ మీద కూర్చున్నారు, మీకు సందేశాన్ని ఇస్తున్నారంటే బికాస్ ఆఫ్ ది సావిత్రిబాయి పూలే అండ్ పూలే గారి ఆచరణాత్మకను రాజ్యాంగంలో పొందుపరిచిన ఘనత డాక్టర్ బిఆర్ అంబేద్కర్. అందుకే ఇంతమంది స్త్రీలు, అబ్బాయిల కంటే ఎక్కువ స్త్రీలు ఈరోజు చదువుకున్నారు అని అంటే వాళ్ళు ఒక శ్రమ కృషి అని మనం గుర్తించుకోవాల్సింది ఈ సందర్భంగా. నౌ I am requesting Dr. Prasanna garu. She did her MBBS in medicine, Hyderabad, and also studied her MD General Medicine, Gandhi Medical College. She presented various number of publications in national, international journals. She is working as a diabetologist in the MGM Hospital. Now she is going to deliver a lecture on the diabetic meltus. I think this topic is very much useful to our farmer students. Thank you, madam.
Good morning to all. ఇక్కడ ఉమెన్ ఎంపవర్మెంట్, ఉమెన్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ అనేది ఈ హాల్లోనే ఎక్కువ కనిపిస్తుంది. మెన్ ఒకరు ఉంటే ఉమెన్ అంతా 3 rows ఉన్నారు. బట్ వాట్ ఎవర్, పూలే గారు ఎడ్యుకేషనిస్ట్ అయ్యారు అంటే తన హస్బెండ్ ఫస్ట్ సపోర్టివ్ గా ఉండి తను ఎడ్యుకేట్ చేపించి తనను ఆ స్థానానికి తీసుకొచ్చారు. సో వాట్ ఎవర్ వి ఆర్ టుడే ఈజ్ బికాస్ ఆఫ్ అవర్ ఫ్యామిలీ, అవర్ ఫ్రెండ్స్ అండ్ అవర్ టీచర్స్ అండ్ అవర్ సపోర్టింగ్ స్టాఫ్. So I'd like to thank you all for giving me this opportunity. Everybody access to
మామూలుగా మాట్లాడాలి డెలివరీ అయింది.
మీరు ఇక్కడ కనబడుతున్నారు. మీరు అప్ అండ్ డౌన్ మీరు ఇక్కడ
So today I'm going to discuss about diabetic awareness. Things to consider are introduction about World Diabetes Day and what's the logo of World Diabetes Day, what is diabetes proper, and then statistics, what are the types of diabetes, what's its pathophysiology, symptoms, risk factors, complications, treatment, prevention, diet, and what are the further research going on. So, World Diabetes Day begins in 1990. Every year, the logo is same, but every year the topic of the World Diabetes Day theme will be keeps on changing. World Diabetes Day is celebrated on November 14th every year because based on the birthday of Sir Frederick Banting, he discovered insulin in 1922 along with his colleague West. Theme of this year 2021 is access to diabetic care, because it's been 100 years insulin has discovered, but the access to diabetic care is less. Diabetic patients are more and more around the globe. Logo is blue circle. Why it is selected as blue circle is చేయాలనుకుంటారు మన దగ్గర జూమ్ మీటింగ్.
లేదు జూమ్ మీటింగ్ మీరు చేస్తే మీరు మాట్లాడిందట
దూరం పెడదాం, మీరు పట్టించుకోవాలి. ఓకేనా? సెల్లు
చూడండి వాయిస్
Why blue circle has selected the logo of World Diabetes Day? Blue indicates the color of sky or color of sea. It indicates infinity. There is no limit to it. And the circle is unity. So diabetes will affect any country, any nation, any person, any gender. So it has no limitations. It is global pandemic. Coming to the point, what is diabetes? Diabetes is raised blood sugar levels. because there is no insulin because of lack of insulin, or whatever the insulin is present in the body, it's not going to act. When we'll call diabetes, when it is called pre-diabetes, what is the normal level of sugars? Based on three parameters, we'll coin the term as diabetes, based on HbA1c values, based on fasting blood sugars, and post-lunch blood sugars. So, for normal people, HbA1c is glycosylated hemoglobin. That is, excess glycosylation products will bind to RBC in the blood. It will stay up to 120 520 days. RBC life cycle is for 120 days. So, HbA1c value will indicate blood sugar for 3 to 4 months. Blood sugar levels, if it's on in 3 months, HbA1c value will be on upper side. So, for normal people, less than 5.7%. For pre-diabetic, 5.7 to 6.4. For diabetes, it will be more than or equal to 6.5%. Coming to the fasting blood sugars, for normal people, it is less than 100 mg per dl. And for pre-diabetics, 100 to 125. And for diabetic people, more than 126. Post-lunch blood sugar values are for normal people less than 140. For pre-diabetic people, 140 to 199. For diabetics, more than 200 mg per dl. So, why this is important? Why values are important? For normal people, we can prevent further based on diet or exercise. For pre-diabetics also, we can control the blood sugar levels with exercise and diet. For diabetic patients, we can't control with the diet and exercise. We have to start treatments based on the age, based on the diet. So, for the statistics, worldwide, around 537 million people are affected with diabetes. That is 1 in every 10 persons. So, will around 20 to 79 years. How many of you got checked with diabetes? How many of you got checked with sugar values? I think very people. Nobody will check up to 35, 40, but it will affect even in 20s. So we have to check our sugar levels frequently. In India, about 77 million people are affected. That is second highest in the world. First to China, after China. In India, its prevalence is the highest in Goa. Andhra Pradesh and Telangana also prevalence is high. That is 6.6 in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana 4.8%. What are the types of diabetes? Diabetes. In healthy people, pancreas will produce insulin. Insulin will uptake the glucose, whatever eat, those products will convert into glucose. That glucose is utilized in peripheral tissues based on the insulin. For type 1 diabetes, pancreas are unable to produce insulin because normally pancreas will produce insulin. Type 1 patients with destruction of beta cells in condition. So pancreas cannot produce insulin. So the glucose uptake for type 2 patients, insulin can produce normally, but peripheral receptors are so insulin is normal. Because of receptor uptake is affected, glucose cannot be utilized in tissues. So in the blood, glucose values is raised. Gestational diabetes, diabetes in pregnancy. What is pathophysiology? What happens because of excess glucose levels? There are enhanced glycosylation of tissue proteins. So, persistent exposure of high glucose will cause end product sorbitol accumulation in tissues, causing any of the vascular capillary basement membrane surrounding matrix hyperventilation, causing thickening of the vasculature, narrowing of the cavities, narrowing of the vasculature, and atherosclerosis. All these causes affects any organ in the body. That is, if it affects the eyes, cause neuropathy, it affects the nerves, cause neuropathy, and peripherally also, it affects the vessels, causing peripheral vascular deficiency. What are the risk factors? Type 1 diabetes, it is mainly genetic. Autoimmune destruction of the beta cells of the pancreas. For type 2 diabetes, diet and inadequate exercise. Other factors also include overweight, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and family history also plays a role. What are the symptoms of diabetes? Main symptoms are, all of you must know that excess urination, excess thirst, and excess eating, that is polyphagia. Also, there will be fatigue because our main fuel for peripheral tissues is glucose. Because that glucose is not utilized peripherally, our cells will fatigue easily. So, will experience fatigue. It affects the eyes, it causes blurred vision, and because of peripheral vascular insufficiency, it causes slow healing of wounds. And insulin also plays a role in protein synthesis and inhibits lipolysis. If there is insulin deficiency, it will cause weight loss. And tingling sensation because of peripheral nerves are affected. In some cases, there will be no. What are the complications? Complications are mainly because of atherosclerosis and vascular narrowing. So, whatever the organ affected, those organs will be damaged. So, the end organ damage will go like kidneys, eyes, skin, nerves, and whole body. What are the part affected? That will be affected permanently. So, major complications because other limb damage of the whole limb causing amputation. And if peripheral vascular diseases are affected, will be affected. Central cause, there will be heart and brain will be affected, leading to neuropathy, cardiac insufficiency, retinopathy, and renal failure.
Now I am finally inviting Professor Saranga come on to the dais and present a book.
Is divided into insulins and oral hypoglycemic agents. For type 1 diabetes, this complete loss of pancreatic beta cells leads to complete loss of insulin. So, for type 1 diabetic patients, treatment of choice is insulin. They won't be get benefited with the oral hypoglycemic agents. Insulin, what does it do is, it facilitates glucose transport across the cell membrane, skeletal muscles, and fat. Facilitates glycogen synthesis, inhibits gluconeogenesis, inhibits lipolysis, and facilitates proteolysis. So is anabolic thing, and it will facilitate the storage part of the glucose. So peripheral glucose will be converted into glycogen. So peripheral glucose will increase. In case of insulin deficiency, peripheral glucose will increase. So what are the indications of insulin treatment? In case of for type 2, if oral hypoglycemic agents or with the oral hypoglycemic agents that diabetes is not under control, then we have to go for the insulin. Otherwise, in case of infections, trauma, surgery, pregnancy, we can't give directly oral hypoglycemic agents. In those cases, we have to give insulin. Coming to the oral hypoglycemic agents, they are divided into three types, that is enhanced insulin secretion, decreased peripheral resistance, and the miscellaneous. These drugs will enhance insulin secretion. One is sulfonylurea, second one is meglitine, and third one is GLP-1 agonist, and fourth one is DPP-4 inhibitors. What sulfonylureas will do? Those enhance the insulin release from the beta cells of the pancreas by blocking the potassium channels, so causing the depolarization, so that insulin granules will be coming out of the beta cells, causing release of insulin. So, what are the side effects of it? Hypokalemia and hypersensitivity. Coming to the meglitine drugs, they are repaglinide and lataglinide. They also increase the insulin secretion. So, whatever the drugs which cause insulin secretion will cause hypoglycemia, because insulin cause further uptake of the glucose into the peripheral tissues, causing hypoglycemia. Apart from that, meglitinides will also cause weight gain. Third one is GLP-1 agonist. They are exenatide and liraglutide. They are not available orally, actually are injectable. They cause GI symptoms, pancreatitis, nausea, and DPP-4 inhibitors. What is GLP-1 agonist will do? Whenever we eat some food, they will be released glucose. So that glucose causes incretin release from the small intestine. That incretin is GLP-1. So GLP-1 peripheral utilization will be done by DPP-4 inhibitors. DPP-4. So DPP-4 inhibitors causes excess GLP-1 in the blood, which causes excess insulin release. So DPP-4 inhibitors causes skin reaction and GI symptoms. Drugs which overcome insulin resistance are biguanides, that is metformin. Metformin causes insulin-mediated glucose uptake in skeletal muscle periphery. Effect of metformin is lactic acidosis. Another drug is thiazolidinediones, that is example is pioglitazone. This enhances glucose expression in blood tissues, so that entry glucose into the peripheral tissue is increased. Side effect of this drug is edema, heart failure, and weight gain. So we have to categorize which drugs have to be given in which condition. Diabetic drugs are other drugs. If any person diagnosed initially with diabetes, they should go away directly to the pharmacy and take medicine, because for sulfonylurea, hypoglycemia risk is more. If one patient having fasting blood sugars are within normal, and after food intake they have higher blood sugars, if they take metformin, they will end up in hypoglycemia. So they shouldn't take metformin. Instead of that, post-lunch higher values, diabetic patients will take miscellaneous drugs like acarose. They will decrease postprandial hyperglycemia. So based on which condition, what drug has to take in, you have to consult doctor. And miscellaneous drugs are alpha glucosidase inhibitors and SGLT2 inhibitors. Alpha glucosidase is the final enzyme in the breakdown of carbohydrates. So if we stop that enzyme, carbohydrates will not be digested completely. So that absorption will decrease and excretion will increase. Main side effect of this is abdominal discomfort and loose. What are the SGLT2 inhibitors? They will present in proximal renal tubules. They inhibit the reabsorption of glucose from the kidneys. So excess glucose is excreted proteins. Main side effect is UTI and PCOS. So if a patient is detected first time diabetes, we have to categorize whether it is type 1 or type 2. For type 1, and insulin is for type 2. First, we have to exercise. If levels are more, we have to put single, usually metformin. If it is not under control, then we'll go for uncomplicated or complicated. Complicated cases like trauma, pregnancy, infections, we have to go for insulin without metformin. If it is uncontrolled, uncomplicated thing, we have to add one more drug along with the metformin. If it is not controlled with the two drugs, we have to keep on increasing up to 4 drugs. If it is not under control, then we have to shift to insulin. That treatment part is in the hands of doctors. But what we should do, what is in our hands is prevention. How will we prevent is healthier diet, being active, that is stay fit, exercise for at least half an hour, at least 5 days a week. And what are the medicines prescribed by the doctor you have to take regularly. And other factors like blood cholesterol levels and blood pressure levels, you have to keep under control. That's also based on the diet, salt restriction, excess water intake, and excess foods intake. At least exercise for half an hour. So prevention is in our control. Is there any cure for diabetes? Definitely no. There is no complete cure for diabetes, just prevention and treatment. But research is going on. There is islet cell transplantation. Pancreatic beta islet cells will produce insulin. So for a normal person, we will extract beta cells from the pancreas and they will process those cells and inject into the diabetic patients. So healthy beta cells will be injected directly into the diabetic patients. So they will produce insulin in that patient and the diabetic will decrease. Coming to the diet. What are the diet patterns we have to follow to keep our sugar levels under control? There are two diet patterns. One is intermittent fasting and another one is keto diet. What is intermittent fasting? There are several other patterns in this intermittent fasting. One is 16:8. That is 16 hours fasting in a day and meals for 8 hours. And 5:2 type is regular meals for 5 days and then 2 days of fasting. This is based on religious practice. So many people are following this. 2 days of fasting in a week is regularly following by so many people. And one is alternative fasting. Another one is early time feeding. That is early morning, from morning to afternoon they'll take food, and afternoon to next day morning you shouldn't take any food. So benefits of this intermittent fasting is improved insulin sensitivity and lowers the blood pressure. Side effect is fluctuations in sugars. If those meal time, if we take excess carbohydrates, it will cause hyperglycemia. If less amount of food is taken, then it will cause hypoglycemia. What is keto diet? It generally will take excess carbohydrates, low fat, and moderate amount of protein. But in keto diet, will take low carb and high fat diet. That is 70% of fat, 20% of protein, and 10% of carbohydrates. What it will cause is carbohydrate, because of less amount of carbohydrates, glucose will be less. Fats will be utilized more and more. So there will be weight loss, decreased triglycerides, and decreased blood pressure. So what you can do, you can prevent the diabetes by lose weight, eat healthy, and be more active. So thank you. Main thing we have to consider is we have to exercise daily for 30 minutes to prevent whatever the complications we attain, like hypertriglyceridemia and hyperglycemia. So that runs in a family because nobody runs in a family. Thank you.
Questions from the participants. Do you have any questions you ask? Now I am requesting Sri Rani to say what are thanks to Dr. Prasanna.
Okay, please wait up. You ask. It is so.
Pre-diabetes is not the stage where we use medicine. In pre-diabetic stage, we don't use any medication. We'll just do diet modification and exercise. Okay, if medication is suggested and if you control properly with the diet and exercise, we can stop for 3 months. If after 3 months also we have to check up with HbA1c fasting and post lunch. If those sugar values are under control, we can stop medicine. There will be no permanent cure, but there will be control.
Anyone?
దగ్గరికి వచ్చారు ఒకటి మైక్
డయాబెటీస్ హెరిడిటరీ అన్నారు కదా మేడం, గెస్టేషనల్ డయాబెటీస్ కూడా హెరిడిటరీ అవుతుందా మేడం?
No, not completely. Only type 1 diabetes. Type 1 diabetes. Huh. Complications, some stages. After that, if suppose there is kidney failure, stage 1 and stage 2 of kidney disease is reversible. In that stage, only some proteinuria will be there. So, if we start using diabetic medication or insulin, that proteinuria stage will be reversed. But if it goes up to stage 5 disease, that is decreased urine output, and there will be changes in vasculature and glomerulus of the kidney, then it won't be reversed. So, early detection of the diabetes, screening every 3 months, early detection and early type modification or early treatment is beneficial. Is there any other the newer drugs cause remodeling of the kidneys and remodeling of the myocardial muscles. Newer drugs will have, up to some extent, they have the power to reverse the complications, but no permanent reversal is there up to now, even with the insulin. So the glucose is now after glucose reduction, automatically the changes what is disease reverse. So diabetic drugs will have no cure. This is the pathology of the genetic. Only type 1 diabetes is genetic. That is, type 1 diabetes occurs in very young people, like around 20 years, 25 years, because that is autoimmune destruction of the beta cell. So, autoimmune antibodies will be normally we all have antibodies in our body, but those antibodies will fight against